Running the tactical phrase simulator from the perspective of the planner takes the form of selecting one of the available project templates and creating a project using that template. In this particular case, we have to select the test tactical TFS, or test tactical phrase simulator template, which the modeler created already and made available in the templates page. This one here. So as a planner, we will have to go to the projects page, select the appropriate template, test TFS, and click on Add Project. In this case, we are directed to a page where we are prompted to provide a name for our project. For example, let's say TFS, then date, and a short description for this project. For example, demonstration project for CIVITAS e-course. And then a number of inputs that are specific to the template, in this case to the tactical phrase simulator. These inputs on the left-hand side are either string inputs or numeric inputs, so real numbers or integers. And also they can be an enumeration of values, which in the MS is represented as a drop-down list, or even Boolean type of input. Each of those inputs, for each of those inputs, the tactical phrase simulator offers a short description to help the planner choose an appropriate value for that input. Also, you can see that once we started creating a project, many of those inputs had predefined values. These are the default values that are provided by this project template, by the tactical phrase simulator template. The user can just change those values or use the default ones. To create a project successfully, the user also has to provide different file inputs, in this case 39 different file inputs, and the user can click on this button in order to have a description of the different files that are expected, also with some information about their format. In the future versions of the platform, we will offer the possibility of downloading a sample file for each of those inputs in order to aid the user more in providing the expected input. Once the user is ready to upload the files, can simply drag and drop the files in this area here. Once the files are dragged here, one by one they are uploaded to the platform, and each of those files has to be associated with one of the input keys. This is done in the platform by clicking on this button and finding the right key for this particular file that was just uploaded. In this case, we have to associate this file with scheme distance, for instance, while the next file is associated with scheme time, and so on. As you can see, the platform already offers some overview of files that are pre-associated. For instance, this cost per vehicle type is already pre-associated with the respective input file. This happens by matching the name of the file to the key, and if there is an exact match, then the platform associates the uploaded file with the corresponding key. But for the rest of the files that do not have an exact match in name, we have to do this manually. Once all uploaded files are associated with an input key, which can also be seen by clicking on this button and looking at the gray background, we are ready to create a new project by clicking on the button on the top right. This project is created and shown here in the list of projects. And also, together with creating a project, the platform creates a default scenario for this project. This corresponds to the baseline for the baseline scenario for the project. The baseline or default scenario for the project that we just created is shown here, and we are then ready to start this particular scenario. Alternatively, we can navigate to the projects, go to the project that we just created, and create alternative scenarios by clicking on this button. In this tutorial, I will show you how to run a scenario and then see the results of it. Running the scenario happens by clicking on the Start button, at which point we're informed by the platform that of the status of the scenario changed from created to running. We also see the progress bar indicating that the scenario is progressing over time. Once the scenario reaches 100%, we are ready to view the results of that scenario by clicking on the View button. Clicking on the View button for a TFS scenario opens the Harmony dashboard. This offers a way to visualize different KPIs for the tactical freight simulator. For instance, we see here that there's a KPI that is refers to a shipment size of this simulation. However, we are able to customize via the platform the dashboard by adding KPIs and offering the possibility of visualizing, even in different ways, using tables or using bar charts or maps, the results of the run. For example, for the TFS, one of the KPIs would be referring to the number of trips in the study area. KPI number 6 here. Another KPI would be referring to the number of shipments in total, or also of the freight shipments. This is the way to visualize the results of a single scenario. However, the platform offers the possibility of running several scenarios, alternative scenarios to the baseline, and viewing a comparative KPIs with the purpose of comparing the results from different runs. This can be done, for instance, by going back to this project that we created and clicking on Add Scenario button. This opens a user interface, which is again pre-populated with the default values for this project template. Also has all the files from the default scenario, and the user is able to either change the files, delete the files and re-upload different files, or just change the configuration. For instance, we might want to compare different scenarios when using different partial drop times. In this case, we will change this value here. We can leave everything else the same. We have to give a description, a name and a description to our new scenario for this project. For example, we can say alternative scenario with increased partial drop time, and we can create a scenario, run it via the scenarios tab, and compare its results to the baseline one.